Alright, Noah and a Bethel from Cave House. It is a Cyborg Tower week. There's lots going on this week. The general strategy is to put a tank down, stick a ranger behind them, and then just back that up with mostly fighters. There's a couple of assassins, but it's mostly fighters. I started with Frontier at the midline, probably should have waited a couple more minutes, but it has committed my opponent to a push to my side of the battlefield, which is good. So I can just now drop Wendy, she will be my tank, and I've got Sharon backing her up, and I've already dropped Poison, which is for Drow. You need Poison at 7 to kill a Drow at 6, really. I've not got that on my alt account, so hopefully I'll do okay over there, but on my main, no problem. And we get the Sharon heal off before Wendy dies. We had to use Wendy's shield at the same time, but it doesn't matter because she's now approaching the new kid and she'll do a bit of damage. Sizzler is going to kill her. We've also got Murph charging the new kid. Sizzler's going to do a lot of damage to him. We're going to nullify some of that using Stan the Great there, and then Sharon's going to back up Murph, do some damage to the Sizzler, and she's also going to do some healing. So I've now dropped my Cyborg Tower. He is going to be vulnerable to a potential Cyborg, but he should do his job before that happens. He should melt the Murph, which is what I want to happen. And as you can see, we're now 2 down. So we do get the Cyborg onto our tower. I'll drop my own Cyborg, hoping that my tower will kill it. It looked like my tower was going to die, but it doesn't matter. Murph gets the 3rd bar with a little help from Sally. There's been a little bit of debate in our team about whether Sharon or Drow was the right call. Drow dies to Poison. Sharon is the answer to Poison, and she did really well in the last match. Let's see how we get on with her for the rest. So just going to Sally poke to start with. She might get countered by rats, it doesn't matter. We've got Murph, and my opponent's dropped his own Murph, so I'm going to drop Stan the Great to counter him, and then we're basically going to focus fire on our opponent's Murph. So we'll hit the damage reduction just before he hits Stan, so even though he's freezing him out, he's doing no damage. And now with the Frontier and Wendy and Terrence and Philip, we very quickly melt him. There's Drow. Alright, Drow immediately using his shield on Scuzz. We're just going to hit Poison on both of those. And we're going to nullify the damage from them with Stan the Great as well. Stan the Great putting in the work this week. So there goes the buff shortly before Drow dies. But Drow inevitably will die. You can't survive this. Alright, we're doing a good job here. My opponent is struggling to defend his new kid, even with Frontier and Stan the Great. We get the 1st bar. My unit survives, so now we're going to get Scuzzable on the battlefield. Right, we've got the exact strategy going that we want. So we've got the tank, we've got a ranger, and we've got some fighters for additional DPS. If Scuzz does die, his buff will be really useful. Right, the rats is going to kill my Frontier, so we're just going to drop Sharon to keep that whole thing going. Going to try and keep Wendy alive if we can. Or should have hit the shield on her before that. She took the bar from the new kid in 1 hit and died, unfortunately. Alright, now we've got the Sizzler to deal with, so once again we're going to drop the Cyborg Tower. If it does get countered by Cyborg Kenny, it doesn't matter because there's units for it to lock onto. It's not going to go straight for the new kid. And as you can see, he gets kept busy while Scuzzlebutt gets the win. Really nice. Alright, now we've got Silence a Bunch of Numbers from Shaved Beaver. Not come across this team before. I wonder if they're new to Gold League. Right, let's see how we get on. My opponent's Elo's not looking good. Is not even in Gold League. So that's going to suggest low card levels. Yeah, look at that. A level 2 Murph. Alright, this should be a walk in the park. But what we're not going to do is underestimate our opponent and just assume a free win. That's how you get the upset losses. Alright, so we've got rats coming in. Rats will kill Stan the Great, but we're just going to turn those into snakes using Medusa, and then we're going to drop a Cyborg Tower to counter my opponent's Cyborg Tower. He's got Mackie in front of it, struggling to deal with Wendy because my card levels are just too high. So my opponent's strategy there was sound, but it doesn't matter because card levels ultimately rule this game. So yeah, a bit of a shame for my opponent here. They are going to struggle to put any sort of real defense in. My Cyborg is vulnerable to Cyborg Kenny. And there is the Cyborg Kenny, so that happens, and he's locked onto Manukid and not Medusa. That's frustrating. So this is exactly what I mean about not underestimating your opponent. He's managed to take a bar there. Is still massively behind, though. Not only has to stop me from getting a third bar, but has to at least get a second bar before the time runs out. And there's less than 2 minutes to go for that. All right, so you can see that's how bad his card levels are, that my level 5 Medusa just wiped out his Scuzzle, his Sizzler, and she gets the victory for us. Easy 1-1-4 this week, but it is not an easy meta out there. Good luck in your games.